Hello everyone, welcome to a 24-hour readathon Halloween edition. I think so far the scariest thing about this is my hair right now because I didn't put any product in it and I just brushed it because I was like, maybe I'll straighten it, but I haven't really done anything with it yet, so it is just vroom. The other scary thing is my reading list for this. This reading list is giant. I have huge plans. So I'm not a big fan of Halloween, as you guys probably know by now. I really don't like it, but I do enjoy reading thematically. So I have a list of, I don't even know how many books here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I have 14 books here. Actually, it's more like 16 because the one I have 2 sequels for that I'm going to try to read. So 16 books total that I'm going to try and read over the course of 24 hours. Now you're probably saying that is ridiculous. Like, I make lofty goals for myself, but that's even ridiculous for me. Now, I will mention a lot of these books are graphic novels that I'm hoping to get to. For some reason, there are a lot of graphic novels that have to do with witches. I'm not sure why, but I've kind of been putting them off for this day when I knew I was going to be reading this stuff. So I'll start off with the non-graphic novel books that I have here. One that I don't actually have like on me is Dracula by Bram Stoker. I was talking about how that is like the one Halloween classic that I haven't read yet that I really want to read. I've read Frankenstein and I feel like I need to read Dracula. So I am going to listen to that one on audio. And then I also really want to read The Wicked Deep by Shea Ernshaw. This is like my one big novel book that I'm trying to get to. It's not super big, but it is about witches, so I feel like this is just a witch-themed, really, reading vlog. I do also have The Bone Houses by Emily Lloyd-Jones, though, that I might get to if I finish these. So, like, I didn't even write that one down on here. No. So that's not even part of my 16 books, but it is something, like, I know I won't finish everything. I really want to get to all the graphic novels, but if I can like start this, that would be cool. So now getting into the graphic novels, I have Beetle in the Hollow Bones by Eliza Lane, which I was sent unsolicited by the publisher, and once I got it, I was like, I need to save this for the Halloweeny readathon that I'm gonna do. Then I have a bunch that I ordered specifically for this reason, and then I have some ebooks that I also got specifically for this reason. So I have Seance Tea Party by Ramina Yee, Coraline by Neil Gaiman, which I have never read before. I haven't seen the movie and I'm kind of terrified. Like, I've heard it's super creepy, and when I was flipping through this, like, oh, I don't want to do it right now because it's nighttime, like, and I'm by myself and that just scares me. But this will probably be a daytime read because this just absolutely creeps me out. Like, I don't know how that's gonna go. But I also have The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman, which I have read physically, like that's not what I meant to say. I have read the non-graphic novel version, but I really enjoyed it, so I think the graphic novel would be fun. And this is 2 volumes in one, so it's almost like I have 17 books on my TBR. Then I have Sheets by Brenna Thumler, An Embarrassment of Witches by Sophie Goldstein and Jenna Jordan. And finally for my physical reads is Witchy by Ariel Slamet-Reed. Now for the other books that I have Monstrous, which I don't know if that's Halloween-y, but I have the first volume of that. I have The Witches by Roald Dahl, which was recently adapted into a film actually, but now they have come out with a graphic novel for it. And I have Anya's Ghost and Witchlight and The Witch Boy. And The Witch Boy is the one where I have the 2 sequels to it. So that's everything that I have to read. I have no clue where I'm going to start, but I'm going to have to figure it out because where did I even put my phone? I'm already losing it. It's 11:58, so like I really need to figure this out and decide what I'm going to start with. Also, I'm not planning on staying up for the whole 24 hours just because that will not be good for me. I'm going to stay up as late as I can and then get some sleep and then get back to reading. So I will have a little, like a few breaks in between there because I don't think it's reasonable for me to think that I'm just going to read for 24 hours straight, although I do have very lofty goals, so I will do a lot of reading, I promise. I've changed into my pajamas, but I have a game plan here. So I'm not going to go into bed quite yet because I will fall asleep if I do. Now, my plan to finish out the night is to read some of The Wicked Deep. I'd like to read at least 50 pages of this, if not more. But to start off my readathon, since it has officially begun, I am going to start with some graphic novels. I would like to try and read 2, so then I can have 2 books finished and have like a dent in my first like actual novel book. So, and what I mean by actual novel book isn't that like graphic novels don't count. I just mean like not a graphic novel, like a just text novel. I don't know if that makes any sense really, but I'm still kind of not sure what I want to read. Like, I would like to finish 3 graphic novels. I'm not sure if I will be able to do that. I think I will start off with Beetle and the Hollow Bones actually. I can't waste time trying to decide which one I want to read first, so I'm gonna do that. Yay! So it has been like 40 minutes and I finished my first book. So I finished Beetle and the Hollow Bones by Eliza Lane. And I thought it was really, really cute. There were a lot of cute and sweet moments to it, and there were a lot of things I liked about it. I did find that the art style wasn't my absolute favorite. I found it was very busy at times, but that's just a personal preference thing. Like, I did find it was very beautiful. However, it just like the pages were very busy, which kind of had me like, whoa. I don't know if that really makes sense, but now I don't really know what I want to move on to. I'm really not sure. So I think right now I'll do one more graphic novel and then I'm going to start with Wicked Deep. So I might actually take a look at what I have as far as ebooks and go from there. So I have made my way into bed, but I am about to start with The Wicked Deep because I finished my second graphic novel. So I finished reading Witch Boy and that was really cute. It was a lot of fun and I think it had like a lot of great commentary on gender roles and how damaging that can be, because it's an urban fantasy where boys inherit the ability to shapeshift into different animals and the girls have like different witchy powers. The main character is supposed to be doing the boy magic but is more interested in what the girls are doing and that witchcraft, and it's just about their journey of wanting to do that magic but not being accepted because of that. So I thought it was really good. I had a great time with it, and I have the other 2 books that maybe I will try and read today too, but for now I'm going to start with this next witchy read. Good morning. It's about 9, so I went to bed to read this last night and I read 8 pages of it, so really and truly nailed it, honestly. I just was very tired. Whoops. It was like 2 in the morning, so I did get a little bit of sleep. I mean, I got 7 hours, that's like pretty normal. But this morning, before I have a couple of appointments, I'm going to be reading some more of this. I'm going to try and really make a dent in it like I had wanted to last night. I'm thinking instead of doing this as a 24-hour readathon, I might do it as a weekend-long readathon. I think that might work out a little bit better for me because I can still kind of manage a sleep schedule, and I will be able to read like most of the graphic novels and most of what I just had on my reading list in general. So that's kind of my plan right now, is to switch this up to like a 48-hour readathon, but I need to not waste any time and read some more of this. So I'm just about to get ready to leave for my appointment, but I have been reading this, so I'm on page 57. I do find it's a little bit of a slower read so far. I feel like I am kind of trudging through it. It's really reminding me of Summer of Salt by Katrina Leno, which I read fairly recently, just with it being like this island that no one's really at and people come to for tourism on June 1st specifically, because there are the Swan sisters, which are these 3 girls who centuries ago were drowned for witchcraft, and now the story is that they come back every year on June 1st and they possess 3 girls and then they drown boys, like it seems like all summer long. So definitely definitely an interesting concept for a story, and I'm kind of like, I feel like I kind of know where it's going in terms of one of the characters, but I could be completely wrong. But yeah, it definitely has a lot of Summer Assault vibes. But I'm going to stop here for now. I am going to take my book with me though, but I probably won't be able to read until a little bit later in the afternoon, but that's fine. I'm outside. So I got back from my running around, most of it at least for the day, but I have decided now to start a new graphic novel, so I'm going to read Coraline. I'm really afraid to read this, so that's why I'm doing it outside and during the daytime, because I feel like that is my best plan. This is like the one book that I have in this readathon to read that like actually creeps me out, so I'm going to read it in the broad daylight, so hopefully I won't be too afraid. So I've never seen the movie. I can't remember if I mentioned that in this vlog, and I don't know anything about the Coraline story, but I am this far through, that far through. It's so creepy. I'm like getting chills because I'm so creeped out. It's just the button eye thing. Oh, it literally horrifies me. So this is like the scariest thing that I'll read, and it's probably not even that scary to most people, but like I'm honestly terrified by it. I hate it, so I don't know how I feel about it just because it makes me so uncomfortable. Ugh. So a little update for you guys. I obviously have gotten a little bit more ready for the day, even though it's like the end of the day, but I finished Coraline. This was super creepy and unsettling, and I didn't love it. So I think part of it is personal taste. It just isn't something that I generally would gravitate towards. So the storyline just personally didn't really suit me. And the second thing is I wasn't the biggest fan of the art style. I didn't really love the illustrations. Even though like they were super creepy and everything, I just didn't exactly click with it 100%. So I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars because I don't think it was bad by any means. I think it was good for what it was. It's just not generally something that I would read. I just kind of wanted to take a chance on it. Now, since this was pretty creepy and scary, I've decided to move on to a couple of the like lighter graphic novels that I have here rather than picking up Wicked Deep, which I will probably do after I finish with these. So I have Sheets by Brenna Thumler and Seance Tea Party by Ramina Yee. So I think I'm actually going to start with this one, which I think the art style just looks like everything that I love. It looks adorable. So I think this will be a good first pick, and then we'll see. Maybe I'll move on to this and then Wicked Deep, or I might read this one first. Not too sure yet, but I do know that I'm going to start with this one, which I'm really excited for. So it's 8:20 p.m. I feel like I've been able to make a decent dent in my reading list today. I just have also had a surprising amount of things to do, and I know the same thing is going to happen tomorrow. So I'm going to work on it. Like worst case scenario, it might become a 3-day readathon vlog, but I think I will like stick to the 2 days and just see how that goes. I do have quite a bit of reading time tonight. I'm like pretty much done with everything else that I had to do. So I did finish Seance Tea Party, and I really loved this. This was surprisingly emotional. Like it really touched me. It was such a beautiful and cute story. So it's about this little girl who ends up meeting this ghost, and it's a coming of age story for both of them really, which was super cool. I absolutely adore the art style for this one. Wait, I'm gonna have the camera balancing for a second so I can show you, but like this art style, you can hardly see it, but it is just my jam. I absolutely adore it. So this was just honestly so much fun, but also really heartwarming, and just I loved it. It was so good. So now I'm going to move on to Sheets, and then I think from there I might read a little bit of Wicked Deep, or I might dive into The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman, because I know that that's going to be a graphic novel that's going to take me a little bit longer because it is a big one. Like it's 2 volumes in one. So we'll see how I'm feeling after reading Sheets, or maybe I'll just go with one of the other books that I have. I don't know. I will revisit my reading list later and see what I want to do from there. So I'm just regrouping on my reading now. So I'm going to mark off everything that I have already read. So I just finished Sheets, and I like liked it. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. I thought that the art style was interesting. Like, it only uses certain colors. It's very like blue and purple based, and you have 2 different stories that intersect. So you have the story of the main character who is working at a laundromat, and it's her family's laundromat, but her mother died and her father's very depressed, so she's basically running this laundromat by herself, and her family really isn't doing well. And it intersects with the story of a ghost, and I love the fact that the ghosts were like just sheets. I thought that was so much fun and really cute with the laundromat element. Now, it was very emotionally draining while reading it, because for a good portion of it, you're just kind of like trudging through life with the main character, and she has it really hard. So that was very hard to read. And then it was very fast. So I believe this is middle grade, and I think that's why, but it just was super, super quick. Like, the conclusion and everything was really quick, and I understand it's a graphic novel, but I found it was way more quick than any of the others that I have read recently. So I didn't love that part, like, a lot of it felt really rushed. Like, honestly, I think I had like 30 pages left, and I was like, I literally have no clue, like, how this is going to wrap up so quickly, but it did wrap up quickly. So I thought it was fun and cute. Not my favorite, but it was enjoyable. I need to decide what I want to do next. I have read 5 books so far, which is awesome. So I need to decide whether I'm going to move on to another graphic novel. I have 3 physical ones left, or I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ebooks left, because I have the sequels for The Witch Boy too. I think I might start out with the first half of the Graveyard book right now. That should, like, it's going to take me a little bit to read this one, because there is like quite a bit of text in here, but I would like to try and get to it, so maybe I'll start with that. Or I might try and keep up the momentum and read something that's a little bit shorter. I'm not exactly sure what my plan is yet. Maybe I should pick up The Wicked Deep and see if I can get to page 100 and go from there. I think that might actually be what I'm gonna do. So we're taking a slight intermission because I have the Charles here, and I want him to put on his Halloween costumes. So he's gonna do a little Halloween costume fashion show for you. Thank you. Oh, disgusting. I'm saying that like he has a million Halloween costumes. He only has 2. So of course we have the classic hot dog. Don't destroy your hot dog costume. The problem is he's a small, but his body's so long. So it's just a struggle to find anything that fits him. Come here, Charlie. He's trying to walk. Come here. You look so amazing. You're a true wiener. I thought he was peeing for a second, I'm not gonna lie, but he's not. Come here, Charlie. Charlie, come here, buddy. Come here. He's like absolutely not. He's not having any of this nonsense. Who's a good boy? So obviously this is a wiener. Oh! Okay, so moving on to his second costume. This one is a struggle because he kind of needs a small, but this is the size struggle I said that we have. So I found a Baby Yoda costume, and I had to do it. The actual like outfit part fits pretty well. He's just so long and his arms are so short, so that's definitely something that he struggles with. But what are you gonna do when you're a long boy and you have tiny little arms? That's just, it's bound to happen. The robe fits pretty well. The arms leave a little bit to be desired, his little floppy paws, but that part does fit pretty well. But then there's this hat part, and this is where the struggle begins. I mean, arguably the arms. His head is too small for this. Like, look at this. He really struggles with the hat portion of this, because I think a small would honestly be too small, but the medium is too big. Oh my god, you're so cute, buddy. He's like, what's happening? This is like the saddest Baby Yoda, like the ears don't even stand up. Oh my god. You look so cute, buddy. This is the way. You're the child. Oh, yes. He's so cute. He's tired of me. He's absolutely exhausted by it all. Oh my god, I love this so much. Yeah, so this has been your Charlie Halloween costume fashion show. I hope you have enjoyed. So here is real Baby Yoda that my boyfriend got me. Oh My God. Oh, real baby Yoda said nope. He said enough of that. Stop it. Why is this the greatest part of this vlog? I literally cannot. So I'm just looking at which graphic novels I have. So I have the 2 Witch Boy sequels. I have Monstrous, Anya's Ghost, The Witches, and Witchlight. I think I might actually start with Witchlight because that one, the color scheme and everything, like the cover is super, super pretty. So I'm going to start reading that now. So I finished with Witchlight. Oh, I still have music playing. Sorry, I was listening to like cinematic instrumentals because it was just setting the vibe for everything. But I didn't love Witchlight. I would say that's my least favorite book that I've read thus far in this readathon. It wasn't bad. I just felt like nothing was really fleshed out. It was very surface level, and I think that's where I struggle with graphic novels, is sometimes they're very surface level, and I actually thought it was middle grade, but it's not. It's young adult, so that made me take my rating down from a 3 to a 2 or 2.5. It just, like, I didn't feel like it did a lot. I didn't feel like there was a lot of foundation between the relationship. I will say a lot of these books that I've been reading have been LGBTQ+. Specifically, they've featured lesbian relationships and female-female relationships, which is so lovely. There's like a whole subgenre that I feel like has been booming with those, and it's really awesome. I've enjoyed a lot of them. This one just like didn't quite do it for me. So now I'm going to move on to The Witches by Roald Dahl. So I'm I'm reading that recent graphic novel adaptation because that's actually a movie that's coming out soon. So I'm probably gonna watch the movie later in the year too, but I think this one will probably be a quick one. Just chillin'. What's up, Bunny? Are you like, why are you not sleeping right now? You look so tired. Go to bed. Oh, rejected. So I finished with another graphic novel. I'm sorry if the screen keeps on making noise. I'm like really bummed about that because it's super annoying and it's gonna keep on slipping and making noise, which sucks a lot. But I finished Witches by Roald Dahl, and it was cute. It was fun, like very childlike. It is middle grade, and I would say it's kind of on the younger end of middle grade. Like the main character is 9. I want to say 8, but I'm pretty sure that the main character was 9. But I think that like the actual novel I've heard is pretty creepy for like being a kid's book, kind of like Coraline, and I can totally see that from how the graphic novel was. This was kind of another case of like everything was really quick and happened super quickly, and that's just kind of how graphic novels are. And I didn't mind it so much because I found this one was very young. Like even the artwork was very childlike, and I enjoyed that element to it. Like I think kids would like that one a lot. I do think it was a little bit young for me though. So I'm going to now move on to The Graveyard Book. I'm going to start with this, maybe finish both volumes, but at least if I can get to 1, and then I might move on to another graphic novel. I'm not too sure, but we shall see. So I'm feeling a little bit burned out for today, not gonna lie, and I think it's because I just read like 5 books in a row pretty much. But I finished with The Graveyard Book. I gave it, I feel like a 3.5 out of 5 stars. So I have read the actual Graveyard Book, and I really liked that. I loved listening to the audiobook. I'm really not a fan of this illustration style. It's just like personal preference. It's not what I enjoy. It's more like a comic book style, I think, and it's just not what I generally gravitate towards. And sorry, I got an email, but just judging from a, like, since it's a graphic novel adaptation, I do feel like the enjoyment of the artwork does play a big role in that. It was interesting to revisit this story though, because it is one that I enjoyed so much when I read it for the first time, which was years ago. So it was an interesting format for it to be adapted to. it's just not my favorite art. That's unfortunate, but I read both volumes of it and I did mark them off separately on Goodreads. I am counting it as 2 reads. That sentence was a struggle, but like, I'm only cheating myself here, but it makes me feel accomplished, okay? Like, I don't care, I'm doing it. So yeah, I think I'm going to take a tiny bit of a break and maybe watch an episode of a show or something, or just some YouTube videos, because like, I literally have read, so let's actually recap this. So far I have read this book last night and The Witch Boy last night, but today I read a bunch in a row. So I read Coraline, and then I moved on to Seance Tea Party, then Sheets, and then I can't even literally remember. After that I read Witchlight, and then The Witches, and now the Graveyard Book. So that, if you count this as 2, that's literally reading like 7 books in a row. I don't know if I actually counted that properly, but basically it's a lot of books. So I'm gonna update my reading list now, and I think after taking my break, I'm going to kind of come back and see how I feel about things, since I have made a decent dent in things, and the only 2 physical audiobooks, or I keep on wanting to call them audiobooks, the only 2 physical graphic novels that I have left to get to are An Embarrassment of Witches and Witchy. And then I do have a couple of ebooks, but I would like to prioritize these first. So I think coming back, I will try for An Embarrassment of Witches because it's a little bit shorter, and we'll see if I can read like 9 books in a row, which will be a lot, but I am going to kind of take like half an hour or so to just relax a bit. I'm so tired. So I took a little bit of a break, obviously, and I don't even know what time it is right now. Oh, it's 1. So it's 1 in the morning, and I do have to be up kind of early tomorrow, so that's gonna be fun for me. But I want to try and finish. Wait, my phone is on top of them. Bad call, bad call. Okay, we're fine. I do want to try and finish these final 2 graphic novels tonight. So, wow, this angle is everything and more. I don't know why that was happening then, but I want to try and read this one first, and then I'm going to move on to Witchy, and hopefully I will be able to get the 2 of these done. I'm really going to try and stay up, even though I have given in and I'm in my pajamas and I'm in bed. I do need to take off my makeup still. Let's do some reading. Yeah. Hello there. So it's Sunday and it's Sunday night. I have been really busy today. I have not had a chance to stop until now. I did finish 2 more books since I updated you guys last though. So I finished with An Embarrassment of Witches, which I didn't know was adult going into it, but I finished this last night and I like passed out immediately. Like usually when I'm trying to fall asleep and I'm reading something, if I turn on my side and I'm like laying down and reading it, that's when I start to fall asleep. But for this, I was literally like kind of sitting up on my back and I was drifting to sleep. So definitely had kind of had enough last night. But I had mixed feelings about this. I think I was kind of too tired in one way to read it, to be honest. But I also just felt like it was kind of confusing. There wasn't really much going on or much of a plot. Like I mean there was a plot line, but it was more so like it's about this girl who her life after college isn't exactly going as she expected it to, and she's learning to grow up and be on her own. And the world, I think, is what kind of confused me more than anything. So the art style is interesting because it is very limited in its color scheme. It uses like some blues, purples, and yellows, and that's pretty much it. Almost like a green, actually. It's kind of like a teal. So that was really interesting. Definitely a cool art style, but yeah, I just kind of had mixed feelings on it. But I also just got the chance to finish a book today. I haven't picked up a book like it took me until probably, I think it was like 6 p.m. to finally pick up a book today, but I finished with Witchy by Ariel Slamet Rees. This one is YA, and I really enjoyed the art. I think the art is super pretty, and it also has a really cool witchy storyline that I was invested in. But it was kind of a situation once again where I was like, how do I only have that many pages left? And I didn't feel like it had much of a plot at all. I think it's definitely setting up for future volumes, and I don't think I've really read enough graphic novels to like know if this is kind of a common thing, but it just completely was setting up. Like there just wasn't really a resolution at all, so that was kind of weird. It's very open-ended at the end, and like I will read future volumes. I just was kind of disappointed that there wasn't one plot line. Like with The Witch Boy, which I read yesterday, that one could stand on its own, but this one I don't think can stand on its own. I think you need the sequels, and I don't believe they're out yet because I think this one like just came out. I don't really know, but I will be continuing with it. I kind of was debating being like, I'm just gonna call it for the readathon because I am so tired. I'm super, super exhausted. But I do think I want to read The Wicked Deep. I'm not going to finish this today by any means, like it's just not going to happen, but I am going to sit down and read some of it. I think that will kind of relax me. I might fall asleep super, super early because I am so freaking tired for whatever reason. I mean, it's Thanksgiving weekend when I'm filming this, and I was out with my mom this morning. Like we went to a national park by me, so that was fun, but that's kind of what has taken up all my time, really. It's not even like I'm doing like the big turkey dinner. I'm not really a fan of that, and I mean, it's just my boyfriend and I. Like it didn't make sense to make a big turkey dinner, so I'm not even doing that. I'm not even like post-turkey coma. It's just, I don't know, it's been a busy weekend surprisingly, but I will read a little bit of this and update you guys later. I actually ended up finishing this. I didn't love it, but I did finish it. So I thought it was intriguing. I liked the witch concept to it. This had a great atmosphere going for it. However, the insta love and the romance was horrible. I really didn't like that aspect to it, and that had a big impact on my enjoyment of it. I felt a major disconnect to pretty much all of the characters, but like I loved the atmosphere of it, truly. I did enjoy the concept and the atmosphere. So I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. It's kind of on the lower end of 3 out of 5 stars, but I'm glad that I have read it, and I know that Netflix had bought the rights to it, so if they do end up following through with that adaptation, definitely want to watch it. So I'm actually going to call it for the readathon. It's actually like still kind of early. It's 10:30, so realistically I could still read a couple more graphic novels, but I don't really want to. Like, I don't want to burn myself out for the rest of my reading, so I'm going to call it here. As far as my list here goes, I read everything but 3 books. I thought it was 2, but it's 3. So I read everything apart from 3 books, which are Monstrous, Anya's Ghost, and Dracula. I didn't get to those 3 because I didn't listen to an audiobook at all, surprisingly. I feel like that never happens in readathons. And I also didn't get to the 2 sequels to The Witch Boy that I had, but I will probably still try to fit all of those books in before the end of the month, so I should be able to do that. And actually that would be by the time you see this video, you'll know if I have read them yet or not. But to recap what I read in absolutely no particular order, so I read Beetle and the Hollow Bones by Eliza Lane, An Embarrassment of Witches by Sophie Goldstein and Jenna Jordan, Witchy by Ariel Slamette Rees, The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman, which is illustrated by various artists, Sheets by Brenna Thumler, Seance Tea Party by Ramina Yee, which I would say is definitely my favorite out of this whole readathon that I've done, Coraline by Neil Gaiman, which was illustrated by P. Craig Russell. I also read the illustrated adaptation of The Witches by Roald Dahl, and I read Witchlight. I can't remember the author's name off the top of my head right now, but I will have it on the screen for you guys, and The Witch Boy, which is by Molly Ostertag, I believe. Once again, I can't remember off the top of my head, and I will have the name of the author on the screen. And I think that covers everything. So that brings us to a grand total of, I never even counted this, so I read 11 books over
over the course of the past 48 hours, which I'm super excited about. Obviously, most of them were graphic novels, but it still counts. I know some of you will think I cheated, but it's still reading, okay? And some of these had like a lot of text in them. Like the Graveyard book had a lot of text in it, and then Witchy had quite a few pages with a bunch of text in it. But oh, I did want to tell you guys, I never said anything about it. Coraline gave me nightmares last night. Oh my god. So actually it was kind of more like this morning, but literally my boyfriend had to wake me up because I was like actually like making noise because I was so terrified of the nightmares. Like it wasn't the button eyes, but it was like a mom, and it looked kind of like the mom from here. I can't remember exactly, but like it was the creepiest thing. It was terrifying and I hated it so much. So I definitely regret reading Coraline because that's probably gonna happen again tonight. And I'm so sad about that. But yeah, it absolutely gave me like legitimate nightmares. So fun times for everyone. But I hope you guys enjoyed this readathon. I definitely did accomplish a lot of reading. I've gotten caught up on my Goodreads goal, which is nice, but I hope you liked it, and I will see you guys in my next video soon. Bye.